When I was growing up, I knew that I wanted to be a mom one day. And I remember telling myself, one day when I have kids, they are going to be perfect, and I'm going to be a perfect mom. And I learned my lesson really, really quick. We were just so happy when we found out we were pregnant with our youngest son. Our pregnancy with our youngest was wonderful. Labor was amazing. Everything was going as planned until things got dark quickly. It was a summer evening. We had just finished eating dinner, and my youngest was sitting on my lap. I was tickling him to get giggles, and when he wiggled a certain way, I saw a lump. And I was so surprised because I've never seen this lump before. And I change his diaper a lot of times throughout the day, every day. So I called my husband over and I asked him if he'd seen it. And he was in shock as well. But the next day, we ended up at the pediatric intensive care unit at the hospital. And all the doctors and all the nurses were there gathered around Elliot. And me and my husband looked at each other and we were so scared. And finally, this woman walks in, and the first thing that I do is I look at her name tag, and it says, pediatric oncologist. And my heart sunk. I don't think any parent ever wants to meet with a pediatric oncologist about their child. Our youngest son would have to go through a surgery to remove the tumor. It was supposed to be a 4-hour surgery, but it ended up being an 8-hour surgery. And it was the longest 8 hours of my life. They removed the tumor completely, but even after the removal, it turned out to be stage 3 cancer. So our son, at 4 months of age, would undergo 7 rounds of radiation and 7 months of chemotherapy. A few months after that, we found out that the chemotherapy caused neuropathy on his legs. And because of that, Elliot was having difficulty walking. He tried to stand up, but his legs. So we had to get full leg cast that he had to have on for 4 weeks. And then after the leg cast, he would have to wear orthopedic boots for months until he was able to walk one day. So my youngest son needed me. I had to hold him a lot because he couldn't walk. My oldest son needed me, and my husband was away on an Air Force mission. And I was at home with all of these circumstances and all of these challenges, and I just broke down. And I felt so overwhelmed, so exhausted, so sad and so lonely. But I felt like everything was on my shoulders, and no one could possibly understand how I feel. I just wanted to get my keys, get in my car, and run away. And at that moment, when I had that feeling of running away, I made a choice. I made a choice to love myself. I made a choice to validate myself. And I made a choice to choose happiness despite my circumstances. I became more self-aware. I started to learn more about myself, because how can you make changes? How can you change your mindset if you don't know who you are, what you like, what motivates you, what makes you sad? I did this through the Enneagram, attachment styles, and the 5 love languages. I learned about myself and what I needed at the moment. And what I really needed was help. And I started asking friends and family that came to visit, I need help. Can you watch the kids? Can you help me clean the house? And it helped take the pressure off of me, and it made me a happier person. I started using positive affirmations daily for me and my kids. It was so important for us to think about the positive things on a daily basis when all the things around us were so negative and challenging. It made us more confident and ready to go after the day. I did something once a week for myself to make myself happy. And I still do this every week. And sometimes it's just asking my husband to take the kids, and I sit on the couch and I watch Hallmark movies and I eat whatever I want. Sometimes it's just the little things. And so it doesn't matter how big or how small it is, doing something every week that fills you with joy is so important. Our youngest son, Elliot, is 4 years old now and cancer-free. He is an amazing, energetic child. You would never know that he was sick, and you would never know that he couldn't walk. Moms, if you think that you are alone, you are not. If you think that you're the only one dealing with your certain circumstance, you are not. No matter how big or how small your circumstance, it matters. And I want you to show up for yourself, to make that choice to validate yourself, to make that choice to love yourself. Life has many ups and downs. There's no way that we can know what's going to happen, especially in motherhood. As moms, we put so much pressure on ourselves. There's so many expectations that we're trying to meet. Are we doing pregnancy right? Are we breastfeeding long enough? If we can even breastfeed at all. Is our house perfect? Do we have Pinterest perfect treats for the kindergarten class? And the list goes on. It's too much. Make the choice today to show up for yourself, to be your own advocate, to be your own best friend.